Welcome to committee.
Thank you.
Floor is yours.
All right, appreciate that.
And your testimony should be on the iPads.
Yeah, I did send it yesterday.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is John Lutz, a.k.a. JohnnyCannabis with OhioCannabis.com. I would like to thank our state representatives for allowing me the opportunity to speak in the People's House and for having open discussions in order to properly create and set forth precedents within the new legalized Ohio cannabis home-grow community and adult use industry. OhioCannabis.com was founded in 2016 as a news, media, and lifestyle brand and website. I have worked at a very high level within the industry, and we have provided information free of charge to tens of thousands of Ohioans about the legalization of cannabis in Ohio. Our brand is well known and a trusted source of information. Now, I'm speaking on behalf of home growers and how the program needs to move forward to freely allow the proper access to genetics within the Ohio cannabis home grow community. It was amazing to see 2.1 million Ohioans turn out in force to pass this with a landslide. This is truly a historic time to be at the end of Prohibition and at the beginning of a new legal landscape for the Ohio cannabis home grower. This is a craft hobby that is rich in culture that many Ohioans are very excited to be a part of. It allows them to explore botany and agriculture, and that is always a benefit to society. Setting it up correctly is extremely important so that we can assure a safe and well-run community full of people who respect the program and are very excited for this opportunity. Ohioans have proven themselves mature enough to handle a legal cannabis market. They've shown this over the past 7 years under the medical program, as well as self-control at over 100 plus cannabis-focused events in Ohio since 2016. I have personally put on a cannabis event at the Columbus Convention Center in 2017. They've all played out flawlessly without any issues or police intervention. Now, based on the 2018 Farm Bill, as well as a statement from the DEA in 2022, cannabis seeds, clones, and tissue cultures have less than 0.3% THC, are considered hemp, and are no longer listed as a scheduled item. This seems to have been reflected in House Bill 86 by removing inferior language set forth in regards to transferring plants in section 3780.29 A of A3 of the Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol bill. To me, this is a move in the right direction with House Bill 86 and a positive update for the home grow community. Essentially what you have is the equivalent to a tomato cutting. While beautiful, it is inert, harmless, and should have no bearing on a new home grower's process or plant count. The new language in House Bill 86 needs to be updated to reflect the allowance of 6 flowering plants. The clone or vegetative state should not have any bearing on our plant count since they are inert and allow home growers to have a perpetual grow so they don't run out of medicine for themselves. You can easily buy seeds, clones, and tissue cultures online and have them shipped directly to your house. There shouldn't be any restrictions on any of these for home growers. We are trying to bring the industry into the light so that people are more comfortable and feel safe participating and also stamp out any illegal activity. The black market has existed in Ohio for as long as anyone can remember, and it is currently valued at a $2 billion illegal industry still. Now, if you're familiar with the way beer is made, they use a flower called hops, which provides its unique flavor and aroma that so many people enjoy. It is also part of the Cannabiceae plant family, yet no additional oversight is given to this plant material or its sources when a home brewer decides to make their own beer. The same should apply for home growers because we are regulating cannabis like alcohol, right? Now, in regards to the 2.5 ounce limit of flower, I think it's rather low. Most big municipalities throughout Ohio have already decriminalized 200 grams of flower in most places, which is almost 8 ounces. So why are we going backwards then and setting such a low limit for home growers? This is going to put some home growers over the limit, and that's something we should try to avoid. Also, why are there no taxes going to any type of child development or school programs, and yet everything going to just build a bigger prison system in Ohio? It sounds counterproductive to a lot of the arguments for legalization. Also, diluting concentrates down to 50% only creates an inferior product that will have garbage fillers and additives in it, something no one wants. The point of legalization is to keep people safe and allow proper access. We're losing millions of dollars of money to Michigan because our taxes and prices are too high, and people will continue to go there to get better quality products at a cheaper price. In my last words, I respectfully ask our elected state representatives finalizing details within the new home grow program guidelines to not place any criminal rules or oversight on a home grower trying to legally acquire new genetics. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you for your testimony. Are there any questions from the committee? Representative Richardson?
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
I'm just wondering, you talked about limiting to 6 flowering plants for home grow. How do we enforce that?
When, and that goes into the home grow program in general, we are obviously giving people so much room to be responsible adults. People have been breaking the law this whole time. You know, the people that have been breaking the law will continue to do so. What we're trying to do is set up a program that people will follow guidelines and rules of and won't do that. Now, when it comes to separating vegetative growth with flowering growth of cannabis plants, it's very apparent when a plant is in flower. They do, within a couple of weeks of being in flower, they do grow beautiful flowers on them, and it's very apparent that they are in flower. And to lump the vegetative plants and the flowering plants together, you just can't do that because they are 2 totally separate stages of development, and that even includes a 3rd beginning stage of clones or seeds. So how do you enforce it? I think you just have to have good guidelines and rules that the people are going to agree to abide by. And from there, you know, it's on them to do that. If they get out of reach of what they're supposed to do within the program, then they're going to have to, you know, pay for that through the legal system. But
Follow-up, Chairman?
Follow up?
Thank you. And I'm so sorry if I just interrupted you. Did you have another thought?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, thank you. No, I just was wondering if we kept it to 6 flowering plants for homegrown, would that satisfy home growers' needs?
It would, because that flowering designation is extremely important for the guidelines, because what you would theoretically have is then 6 plants in vegetative ready to go into flower once your current crop is harvested. It's called a perpetual grow, and if somebody's trying to grow this for medicine for themselves, they need to be able to keep that grow consistent. So if you have a downtime, and it can take anywhere from 30 to 90 days to veg out your plants to the right growth before you would want to flip them into flower so that you get the end result of the cannabis. They're going to need that 30 to 90 days of a window to get those plants at the point where it'll be good to go into flower. If you have that downtime, then people, especially with the low limits at 2.5 ounces, people are going to run out of medicine. And I call it medicine still because we're coming from a medical program, and whether you use this for cancer or pain management or anxiety or just because you had a hard day at the end of the day, you know, it's legal now. We're allowed to do that. And if people are missing out from growing their own, that's when they're going to go looking in the black market and try to find another source because their needs aren't being met by the rules and guidelines of the home grow program.
No further question. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Crothers?
Thank you, Chair.
Sure.
Through the Chair, thank you for coming today. I know it's, first of all, very stressful to come up here and stand in front of a bunch of people or just a few people. How many plants would you say, or flowering plants would you say, would be recommended then for home grow?
The people voted on 12,
Okay.
you know, and the language wasn't clear in that either.
No, it
of
wasn't.
flowering plants, and that particular wording is extremely crucial to this program.
So 6 flowering,
At
6
minimum.
non-flowering.
Correct. At minimum, 6 flowering plants
Okay.
and 6 allowable vegetative plants.
Follow-up?
Follow up, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. How would you feel as some of the tax dollars, and please understand that because there are tax dollars, and I believe Michigan taxes also with this, I don't know. It's pretty obvious that some of us have never imbibed, but certainly have been around it for a number of years being older. What would you say if some of the tax dollars went to things like school safety? Or, I mean, we give a lot of money statewide to schools, but something like school safety programs or something like that, how would you feel about that?
I think if you look at a state like Colorado that has had a legal market for well over a decade at this point, their streets are beautiful, their school systems are top-notch, their teachers and administrative are paid well. Even though the schools are funded, they're always underfunded across the whole state. So additional funding to school systems or child development programs is always going to be beneficial. There's things like STEM that really need to be extrapolated upon here in Ohio to really get more engineers and scientists and stuff involved in a lot of things like that. So yes, I mean, like I said, all of the taxes seem to go to be building a bigger prison system. Ohio, I think, is the 3rd or 4th largest prison system in the whole country. We have a pretty good system. I don't think we need more. Obviously, more funds will be allocated towards law enforcement and prison systems and stuff like that. We're probably not going to be able to stop it, but I think we can reduce it and then move those funds to some type of child development or school programs for sure.
Follow-up?
Follow up?
During the state budget, we did a great deal of that, tremendous amounts of money, if you look. So what I'm asking is, we seem to have a great deal of people concerned about school shootings and some things like that. What I'm asking is a school safety to keep the kids in our schools safer.
I would say yes. I mean, this is my son here that came with me. He's 19 now, but I'm speaking from a father. It's our children are our future, and as a father, it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever been a part of. So keeping our children safe in such a turmoil time in this country and history, things are unfortunately probably going to get worse. And anything we can do to keep our most precious things safe, I'm all for. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions from the committee? Hearing none, thank you for your testimony.
I appreciate your time. Thank you, everyone.